Hello everyone, hello Tina's page. I am Leslie Williams and I am so excited to be here today. Thank you guys for joining. I'm going to give it a minute or two because I know sometimes it takes everybody a minute to actually get here and log in. That way I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself, which is what usually happens. So let's see if some people jump on. Otherwise, I'll just go ahead and get started and you guys can rewind it and watch it live. First, I want to say a huge thank you to Tina for inviting me to do this. It was incredibly flattering and I was tremendously honored that she invited me. Hi, Joe. Hi, Wava. I see you. Oh my gosh. Okay, people are here. So this is good. This is good news. A little bit about me. So my name is Leslie Williams and I am an Elite Orange status presenter. I started my unique journey just like a week over 2 years ago. May 5th, 2014 was when I first joined. So I've been with the company for just over 2 years. And so, hi. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. You guys can hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay, I'm sure you can all hear me. So that's a little bit about me. I'll tell you a little bit about my own personal unique journey before we get started. I had a really great start to my business. Hi, Heather. I had success super quickly and kind of thought, oh, okay, well, that's how this is going to go. And then, like everybody, the roadblocks started coming and things started to change and my perceptions were kind of rocked and I got down. I got really down. And when I got down, I didn't just get down on me. I got down just on the process as a whole. And when I got down, I got negative and I got blamey and I got all the bad things that you don't want to get. So I kind of want to share my experience and my story with you guys so we can all learn from this together. So I do have some notes that I'm gonna refer to and look at. So excuse me if I look down. Hi Bert, welcome. Hi Jamie. So here's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the stuff that nobody really talks about, right? We talk about parties, and we talk about bookings, and we talk about sponsoring, and we talk about selling, okay? But there's this whole other side, this whole other interpersonal, almost like, you know, you could say psychological side of this business that we don't spend a whole lot of time talking about, and that's the personal development side. So I was thinking earlier this morning, I was laughing actually because I don't know if y'all remember bookstores before Amazon and Prime and like, you know, next day shipping and all that. But in the bookstores, the personal development portion of the bookstore, do you know what it used to be called? It used to be called the self-help section. And that has kind of a not so great connotation, right? Like, so if you were 10 years ago in the bookstore, in the self-help section, you were kind of like this. You're like, I hope nobody sees me in the self-help section. Like, I don't need help. Do I need help? So you know what they did? The smart people of the world changed the self-help section to personal development because it's so hard for us to sometimes say, you know what, I do need help. But it's a lot easier for us to say, you know what I need to do? I need to develop these parts of me that are underdeveloped or underutilized or things that people really don't think about or spend much time on. So, preach girl, what's up? Hey, Katie Newart. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. The title of this training is You Are Worth It. And we're going to get to the worth it piece in a little bit. So, what I want to talk to you guys about right now is this concept of negativity. Okay? And I don't know why this is, but it's always been this way. Negativity is one of the easiest places to go to, right? And blame and the bad and attacking others and gossip, and all of that kind of stuff, right? It's so easy to go there because it's hard to do the personal work. It's hard to do the personal work where you have to look at yourself and say, hey, is this my doing? Is this because of me? And that's hard. That's hard. It's so easy to play the blame game and get involved in all of this negativity. But here's what it is. It's this tiny, tiny voice. It's this little small voice in the back of your head that says, I can't do this. It's that little teeny tiny voice in the back of your head that says, I'm not as good as she is. I'm not as pretty as she is. I'm not as creative as she is. I'm not as talented as she is. I can't do this. And even though that voice is small, even though it's this mean little voice, it's the loudest voice in your head because it's the easiest voice to listen to, because it allows you to take the onus off yourself. That's right, I said onus. It allows you to take the blame off of yourself, and it allows you to put it in other places. And that feels better to us, right? Do you guys feel that? Hey girl, hey Melissa, oh thanks for my hair, holler. Okay, so here's my question. And I want you guys to answer this, and I want you to type it in the comments here, okay? How sure are you, from 0% to 100%, how sure are you that you can do this business? And if you say 100%, I'm going to call you out. So think about it. How sure are you that you can do unique, that you can do this business, that you can do direct sales? I'll tell you my percentage. 70%. I want to give you guys a second to decide. 40%, Katie, that's how sure you are? 40%? 90%, Melissa, girl? 50%? Okay. Keep them coming, you guys. My percent is probably 70. That feels right to me to say. Okay, 50%, 40, 90. Hi, Jenny Sanchez. So if you guys just joined, I want you to type in how sure are you that you can do this business? And we're going to break it down because that's what I'm about. I'm about breaking it down. Okay, so I'm at 70%. Joe, okay, I'm calling you out. Okay, Joe. Okay, you'll see what I mean in a minute. 50%. Okay, so what percent of you believes that you can have whatever success you want in this business? Okay, that's good. I like the honesty. So let's break it down. So if you said, we'll just take my example. Okay, so I said 70%. So the 70% of me that believes I can do this, right? And that's a big percent, so I'm happy about that. I love that. But let me tell you what that percent consists of, and tell me if this sounds familiar. I can do this business because I love the company. I can do it because I love the people. I can do it because I love the mission statement. I can do it because I love the products. I can do it because I love the idea of being my own boss. I can do it because I really want to try, okay? So that's the easy part, you guys. So wherever your percent lies, that is the easy part. That's what is encompassing it. That's the concepts piece. That's the broad piece. But let me tell you something. That's the piece that is just automatic, right? That's the piece, that's as much as you believed when you bought your kit. I like the company. I like the products. I love makeup. I can do this. I think my friends would like this. Okay, so it's a lot of very easy conceptual things. Now let's look at the other piece. So for me, it's 30%. What's the piece that's missing? Okay, what does that consist of? Now this is where things get hard and you have to do the work. The bigger your end piece is, the more work you have to do. So people like Joe and Melissa Granada White that are at 90 and 100%, their 10%, their little small piece has to deal with their personal development. That's the piece that they're working on right now. So my personal development piece, that's the 30%. And let me tell you what's encompassed in that 30%, okay? This is where it gets hard, you guys. This is the part that contains the feelings about your worth, your worthiness. That's this piece. And that's why it's so hard. And the smaller it gets, the more successful you become. Okay? So we need to chip away at that percent, whether it's 50% or 80% or 30% or 5%. Because that's why I said I don't believe any of you are at 100%, because there is always that little bit, there's always that little voice, there's always something in the back that says, but I can't. Okay? All right, Melissa, so you may have said 60 or 70% a couple months ago. So I'm going to walk you through my 30%. Here's my 30%. This is the part that says, I can't do it. I'm not as good as her. I don't know if this is for me. I can't do parties. I'm scared to do a video. I'm not creative, okay? That's this piece. And this is the missing link. Because when we have the big part, right? That fun 70%, the fun stuff, the company, the trips, the makeup, the womanhood, the sisterhood, all of that. That's the raw fun stuff, right? But the work comes when you get to the piece where your self-esteem, your fear, and your self-worth lie, okay? The good news is these are the things that we have control over, okay? We don't have control over the company. We don't have control over what products they give us. We don't have any control over what trips we go on, okay? But we do have control over the most important piece of our 100% belief. That's the part that we have the most control over. But it's also the part that we don't want to deal with, because it's the part that contains our feelings and our self-worth. Okay, so this is the voice in your head, right? I have my notes. I'm sorry. I'm a notes girl. But here's what it boils down to. It boils down to 3 things. And I want you to get a pen, and I want you to get a piece of paper, and I want you to write these down, because this is what your homework's going to be, okay? I know. I was never a teacher, but I should have been. First, self-esteem. Okay? This is the part of you that's the I can'ts. That's your self-esteem part, the I can'ts. I can't do a video. I can't do a party. I can't be outgoing. I can't. And I'm only talking self-esteem in terms of how it relates to business, okay? I'm not talking self-esteem, as it relates to anything else, but just to your business. So these are your can'ts. And the nice part about this, you guys, is that we can overcome the self-esteem can'ts by action steps, okay? By taking action. So if one of my can'ts, one of my self-esteem issues is that I can't do a video, the action I take is that I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to do another one, and that's eventually going to build that part of my self-esteem, right? So if my can't is that I'm not creative, right? So what can I do? What are my action steps to supersede that can't? Is I can watch YouTube videos. I can reach out to another Y sister, and brainstorm. Okay, so all of that, the self-esteem can'ts, they can all be overcome with action steps, actionable steps. The second piece of this that I mentioned is the fear element. Remember I said there's 3 things: self-esteem, fear, and worth. We're going to get to the worth because that's the hardest one. But the fear is the what will they thinks. Okay? So if you go into yourself and you say, what am I afraid of? What is it that I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of people's reaction. It's the what are they going to thinks, right? I'm afraid of what people are going to say. What are they going to think? What are my friends going to say about me behind my back? What if somebody makes a comment in my video that's not polite? What if somebody says, oh, direct sales is a pyramid scheme? What if somebody says, oh, who does she think she is? Okay, these are the fears. These are the what will they says. Okay, now how do we overcome the fear? How do we get this fear component out of the way? Is that we work, right? We push through it. Fear is something that we can say, okay, listen, I'm afraid, but I'm going to do it. Okay, raise your hand. Who was afraid today? I was afraid to get online and do this for you guys. I was afraid to come in here and talk, but I pushed through it. So fear and self-esteem and the can'ts, these are things that you can work through by taking actionable steps. Now we're getting to the heart of the matter, and now we're getting to the hardest part, and that's the worth piece, the self-worth. And this is the part that you cannot overcome with actions or by forcing it or by making yourself do it, okay? So what if you get embarrassed? Yeah, exactly. Melissa, what if I get embarrassed? What if I flub up? What if I get on Tina's page and I freeze and everybody's like going, what is Leslie talking about? What if? But these are the things that you can overcome with action. And now we're going to go to the hardest piece, and this is the core of it for me. This is the entire core of why people end up not being successful in their business and in their life, generally speaking. And that's the worthiness piece. So what is worth? What do you guys think? It's not self-esteem. It's not fear. It's your intrinsic belief that you as a person are deserving. And this is where everybody gets stepped up. This is where people trip, and this is where people fall. I'm nuts. Thanks, Melissa. When we have a self-worth piece, a worthiness piece that is solid and that is based in a firm belief, we can do whatever we want to do. But here's the thing. When it comes to business, worthiness is a very, very tricky subject. And I'm going to bring up some stuff that might make a few of you guys feel uncomfortable, okay? But I'm going to bring it up anyway because that's what I'm doing. Okay, so worthiness. Let's talk about our feelings about money. Okay? Think about it. I grew up with a single mom and a dad that had a ton of money. My dad was a doctor. He didn't need any, he had tons of money. But when I was a kid, the way my mom talked about money made my ideas about money what they are today. And I bet that there are so many of you that are going to identify with this. Things like, oh, well, you better ask your dad because he's got plenty of money. We don't have any money, so you can't do X, Y, and Z. Or if only your dad was here, but he's not because he's off skiing and doing the things that people with money do while we're sitting here eating, leftover food. Now, she wasn't specifically telling me that money was bad or money was evil or wanting money was wrong. But the subliminal messages about money that we have been getting our whole lives directly relate to our ability to feel worthy of running a successful business. Let that sink in for a second. How many times have you seen a beautiful woman drive down the street in a fancy car and she's got her fancy outfit on, and what's the first thing you think? If you think, oh, she must have married well, that reflects your worthiness of how you feel about being worthy of money, okay? I'm missing a lot of these comments. What about when you see a woman go out with a super nice Louis Vuitton handbag and her hair is blown out, she's got perfect makeup and she's got Louboutin shoes. I don't even know how to say it because I can't have those shoes yet, but what do we think? Ask yourself seriously, do you ever think, rich bitch, excuse my language, These are your internal feelings about money and your worthiness to have it. Let me tell you something else. Money has been personified for ages. For ages. Money is an object. Money does not have good or evil attributes, right? People do. People do horrible things with money or for money or about money or with money or whatever. But the money itself does not have any attributes. It's money, okay? It's not good, but it's also not evil. So how many times have you heard this growing up? Oh, money is the root of all evil. Do you believe that? Do you believe money can't buy you love? Do you believe money can't buy happiness? Do you believe any of these things that we have been conditioned over and over and over to believe about money? Because I will tell you what, if you do, it is preventing you from earning money. Think about it. Think about it. Same thing with success, okay? Especially us as women who traditionally earn less than our counterparts, less than men, right? Some of us, not everybody, but some of us have been told to marry well, to marry up, to find a man that has money, to find a man that can support our families. All of these things are so ingrained in us and so ingrained in our bodies that they become how we believe we are worthy of money or success. So if you believe that money is evil or the root of all evil, or people with money are bitches, or they're, conniving or whatever, then your ability to earn money and feel worthy of the money you earn is impaired, okay? I'm going to use some examples. Let's take some of our top leaders that are making, $100,000 a month. So then you put yourself in that position. You grow your team so huge and you blow up, right? And all of a sudden you have all of this money coming in. And what is your feeling about it? Where's your worthiness lie with that money? Well, it might feel awful to you. It might feel suffocating, and it might feel like you're torn between two things. Oh, well, I was always told this, but I have all of this, and I'm really not worthy of this. So we need to reassess some stuff, right? We need to think about our self-esteem as not how we feel about ourselves, but what we can and can't do. Okay? So you take all of those can'ts and you take action steps, and pretty soon you've built up a self-esteem stockpile. Okay? Same with fear. You take the fear of what people are going to think about you or what people are going to say about you. And each time you move through one of those fear cycles, you're stockpiling successes, okay? And then the worthiness part as it pertains to your business, right? And as it pertains to the fact that you can look in the mirror and say, you know what? I am worthy of making $100,000 a month. And you know what? Wanting to make $100,000 a month is not selfish, it's not evil, and it's not wrong, no matter what your parents said or their parents before them, okay? Because money is not personified. Money does not have attributes. Money does not cause or do harm. People do, right? I see all these hearts exploding. Am I blowing y'all's minds? Kendall, exactly. And when you believe that, and when you take away that piece of negativity surrounding the money and surrounding success, and it doesn't even have to be money, because let's face it, not everybody's intention is to make Black Status Leader 3 or make $100,000 a month. Some people's intention in this business is to change other people's lives. So let's look at worthiness from that standpoint. Have you ever thought to yourself or been told this by somebody, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to think that you could lead a team of thousands of people. Who do you think you are to get on Tina's page and train about something? Leslie, who do you think you are? That is a huge worthiness piece. And that has nothing to do with the money, right? But that has to do with success. That has to do with our fear of success. And you hear it all the time. Oh, she has a fear of success. And you go, what? How could anybody have a fear of success? But I'm telling you, it stops more people dead in their tracks right before they hit that success plateau, that success, that top of that mountain, because they don't know if they are worthy of having that title. They do not believe that they are worthy of standing at the top of that mountain and saying, you know what? I am worthy of this. I'm worthy of leading a team. People want to hear what I have to say. I can do this. I should do this. I will do this. And on top of all that, I'm going to get paid. And nothing about what I just said is selfish. Nothing about what I just said is gross or icky or anything. And you know what? It's not even self-centered. It's just not. It's just not. What it is being content and confident in your own person. Always with the background of do no harm, right? Do no harm, right? While you're doing all of this, you're not stepping on people and all of that, but you're doing no harm, okay? Joe, I like that, what you just said, because I think we think that all the time. Somebody joins our team and we go, she should have joined Sherry Brown's team. I can't lead her. She's a firecracker. She's going to be amazing. She shouldn't have been on my team. Ugh, right? Wrong. Wrong. It goes back to that worthiness piece. So let's circle back to the beginning, okay? And let's look at our original percent. And for those of you that joined late, you can totally go and rewind it and go through your own percent. So now, again, I said 70%. There's 70% of me that believes I can do this. And that other 30% is the self-esteem, the can'ts, the fear, what are they going to think, and then the self-worth piece. What piece do you think is the most important thing that I need to work on? What thing do you need to work on? Get a paper out and write it down. And write down 3 columns. Put your fear. Write down your can'ts. Or what people are going to think. Put your self-esteem column and write down your can'ts. But then I want you to take a really good hard look at that worth piece. And I want you to think about how you think about success, what you think about successful people, what you think about money, and what your family and your past history has told you to think about money. And I want you to see if this kind of changes things for you. Any questions? If I can figure out how to put it on YouTube, I will. I totally will. Let me look through my notes again, because I think I covered it all. I don't know. I might have got a little bit wonky in there and all of that. But thank you guys, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, for listening. You may or may not agree with anything that I had to say, but this is something that's important to me, and important to me as a woman, and important to me to be able to share with other people. So I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Morgan. Morgan can help me put it on YouTube. I'm like technically challenged. Thanks, Weva. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. And thank you again, Tina, for inviting me. I hope this was worthwhile to everybody. And I will hopefully see you guys later. Bye.